Trade discussions shift.
We have plenty of good Canadian, Ontario, Essex County wines to drink.
Will Canadian consumers support the potential return of American alcohol to store shelves? WSIB job cuts.
People were in tears, unable to continue with the meeting, unable to work for the rest of the day.
A move the union calls a gut punch. And abandoned, broken down homes are being expropriated.
Now is the time for us to act, to start restoring the neighborhoods that they have watched decay in front of their own eyes.
The plans to rehabilitate the area that spent years in limbo.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. The Workplace Safety and Insurance Board is consolidating some of its claim and account management tasks, a move the union says has left 466 positions across Ontario redundant. That includes 131 employees here in Windsor who must now decide whether to exit the company or relocate. CTV's Sanjay Maru joins us now with more on this. Sanjay.
Well, this news was delivered to workers during an emergency meeting Wednesday morning. They were given the rest of the day off, but were expected to return to business as usual despite the uncertainty surrounding their jobs. And one local worker I spoke to today says because of all of this, she may be forced to sell her home.
Thank you for calling the WSIB. My name is Victoria in customer service. How may I help you?
Since joining the WSIB in 2020, Victoria Dana had every intention of staying with the organization until retirement. But now her future is at a crossroads.
It's devastating that that's no longer my plan. I have to look elsewhere now and just see what next steps are in place career-wise for me.
She's among the 131 affected employees in Windsor, and overall, the Ontario Compensation Employees Union says the WSIB has declared 466 positions redundant across 10 communities in Ontario. Union President Harry Goslin delivering the painful news to members on Wednesday.
People were in tears, unable to continue with the meeting, unable to work for the rest of the day. It is devastating.
The WSIB's Windsor office has not offered in-person service since 2020, and its lease expired in 2024. But employees have continued working remotely, processing claims and payments and taking client calls. The union says shifting those responsibilities elsewhere will worsen workload pressures and affect service.
It'll delay decisions. It'll delay access to health care. It'll delay referrals for return to work services. All the things that matter. It'll delay healthcare cost reimbursement.
In a statement, the WSIB says it is modernizing service delivery by consolidating some claim and account management functions, and that support will be available to affected employees. Adding, quote, "We will treat everyone fairly and with respect, including access to resume writing, job-seeking services, and continued benefits, including unlimited mental health support during this transition."
It looks like you were issued a payment on August 19th by check.
As for Dana, she says relocating would also require her husband to find new work, while accepting a severance package would leave her searching for another job with comparable income. And at the center of that decision is the home the young couple worked to purchase together.
Your first home is a big feat in this economy, and my husband and I were very proud to be able to do so. Even though it is an older home, she's from the 1950s. We love her and we would like to keep her. So that's definitely one of my biggest concerns.
And the WSIB has not confirmed the union's local or provincial figures, saying the final number could be lower once employees consider relocation opportunities or other supports. Meanwhile, the union says it will pressure both the province and the WSIB to reverse this decision, arguing these jobs and the people who hold them should remain in their communities. Stefanie.
Okay, Sanjay Maru with our top story. Meantime, a second Essex County union is threatening job action, keeping members who work at the Civic Center landfill, transfer station, and recycling center have voted in favor of a strike mandate. The union says the dispute centers on wages and what it calls unequal treatment between unionized and non-union workers. It says management received an 18% increase to bring salaries up to the 60th percentile scale of neighboring municipalities, while union workers won't reach that level until 2028. The two sides return to the bargaining table on August 26th. And Essex Windsor EMS have set a strike deadline for October 5th at 12:01. The county has asked the Ontario Labour Relations Board to reconsider the Essential Ambulance Services Agreement. The original ruling paves the way for a 20% reduction in staff. The county wants that number reduced. And the heads of several teachers and education unions say strike action is not off the table if they fail to carve out new contracts with the government. Bargaining was paused for every union but the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association over a dispute regarding which issues are negotiated with the province at a centralized versus local level. Most students in the province will head back to the class on September 8th. It's been a long road, but Wednesday officially marked the end of Titan Tool and Die in Windsor. Unifor Local 195 met with workers to distribute long-awaited severance pay, marking the end of a nearly year-long labor dispute. The workers were locked out by the company last August after contract talks broke down. They spent about 11.5 months on the picket line before a deal was reached on July 24th. The union says the settlement secured severance pay and unemployment insurance benefits for workers during the lockout. Unifor says it also is helping members find new jobs. At the time of the lockout, the union represented 60 workers, including 27 active employees and 33 who've been laid off. In other news, a 61-year-old woman is facing 2 assault charges after police say 2 children running a lemonade stand were attacked in Windsor's Walkerville neighborhood. Police were called to Gladstone Avenue near Niagara Street on August 3rd. They say the woman approached the stand and became hostile. Both children suffered minor injuries. The woman was later arrested and charged with 2 counts of assault. Let's take a break now. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell building tonight. And Gary, a quiet night ahead of us.
Quiet night, you're right about that, and a sunny situation as we head towards dusk. Thursday's been a beautiful day. After a cloudy early morning start, it's been brilliantly sunny, and I think sunshine will be the theme for tomorrow as well. We are in a benign pattern, if you will. Dry air sweeping in behind a cold front passage. Next time we see rain, likely this weekend for Saturday and Sunday combined. And the weekend's going to see temperatures take a bit of a nosedive. It will be cooler. Today, seasonal, sunny. We could be 4 or 5 degrees below seasonal for the weekend. I'll break down what you need to know and see if this cool down stretches into next week. That's coming up shortly. For now, I'll send it back inside to you at the desk.
Canada and U.S. trade officials have 2 days to finalize a deal before this Saturday 12:01 deadline and those 50% tariffs. It hasn't dampened the smile on the faces of trade negotiators as they looked across the finish line with an agreement in place. Let's check in with CTV's Michael Couture, who is in Washington.
After returning from Ottawa early this morning, Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and Canadian negotiators held their longest session of talks with their American counterparts thus far. How close are we? The meeting lasted 3 hours and included the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, Marc-André Blanchard, while Canada's ambassador to the U.S., Mark Wiseman, was only in there for the first hour of the discussions. LeBlanc said little at the conclusion of the conversation, but he tried to reassure Canadians as the latest deadline is just over 24 hours away.
Canadians expect us to get a deal that's in the economic interest of Canada and Canadian workers. We're very close. We continue to make progress. And we're going to stay here and do the work that's necessary until we get to that point.
The 3 sources tell CTV News that there are reductions in Section 232 tariffs on the table as part of the agreement, but it's unclear how far those levies would go down. They would affect industries like steel, aluminum, and autos. We're also hearing from the premiers who were briefed by the Prime Minister about the talks. One of the concessions Canada has put on the table is returning American alcohol to store shelves. While many premiers seem supportive, not all are happy with Canada's concessions.
He's confident that they will reach an agreement, and he As part of this agreement, he asked all of the provinces, as a sign of good faith, would we put U.S. liquor back on our shelves, and we all agreed.
They gave us some details, and other stuff they said they're still nailing down. So he was, I wouldn't say that he was begging us, but what is a step before begging? I think we should fight. I think we've got the upper hand. They're back on their heels right now. They're coming to us for a deal. And so I think we should fight.
It's unclear if more meetings have been planned for Friday, but as Minister LeBlanc said as he left the meeting, they will continue to have more negotiations until they get a deal that's good for Canadians. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Washington.
And as you just heard, as part of that potential trade deal, several premiers say the Prime Minister has asked them as a sign of good faith to lift provincial bans on American liquor. The provinces have all agreed to, according to some premiers, but Ontario's Premier Doug Ford has yet to publicly comment.
A booze ban keeping American alcohol off Canadian shelves may soon be lifted in order to reach a trade deal with the U.S.
Keep the alcohol out of here. It's not worth it to cave in. One way or another, whether when he gets out or he loses the primaries, we will get a good deal.
Last month, the Trump administration said Canadian imports of U.S. alcohol beverages are down about 81% year over year, dropping to $137 million U.S. for March of 2025 through February of 2026, and from $718 million in the same period a year before. The pain has been especially acute in states like California, known for its wine, and Kentucky, which is famous for whiskey. A recent poll from Nanos Research for CTV News found if it returns to store shelves, 74% of Canadians are unlikely to buy it.
And we have plenty of good Canadian, Ontario, Essex County wines to drink with.
Like, why not just stick with what I've been used to for however long now?
Yeah, it really doesn't bother me. Some people have their brands, right? So if they want it back, it'll be good for them, and it adds a little more options to the shelves, you know.
Political analyst Lydia Miljan says Doug Ford may be waiting until he sees the final deal before making any commitment.
Details matter, especially when we saw what happened with the Gordie Howe Bridge, right? We were told initially by the Prime Minister, oh, just look at the word net. That's all you need to see. Everything's good here. But then when we actually saw the agreement, it was like, oh, wait a minute. You actually changed the terms and conditions. And so I think a lot of people want to see the fine print.
This takes us to our question of the day. Will you buy American alcohol if it's put back on shelves as part of the Canada-U.S. trade agreement? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you support the government increasing fuel taxes on September 8th. 700 people voted. 87% of them say no. A decades-long dispute over boarded-up homes in Windsor's West End is entering a new chapter. The city is now moving to expropriate dozens of properties, saying Old Sandwich has waited long enough. CTV's Travis Fortnum joins me now with more on this story. And Travis, most people are familiar with these boarded-up houses.
Yeah, Stefanie, the city has long complained for years about these boarded-up houses, vacant homes in this part of Windsor, saying they've become a safety concern and a roadblock to revitalization. Now it's moving to take control of 45 properties, including land along Indian Road, Edison Street, Felix Avenue, and Bloomfield Road.
Boarded up, broken down, and now potentially bound for city hands. Windsor has started the process to expropriate 45 properties across Old Sandwich Town. Houses, empty lots, and more than a dozen properties CTV News first reported last month were already facing emergency demolition.
After the chief building official told me that he's issued 17 more orders to demolish properties where the roof was caving in, where they were a community safety issue, I went to city council and said, guys, now's the time. We have to act.
Council quietly gave the green light in a closed-door meeting last month, with notices going out to property owners Monday. Many of the properties were bought decades ago as the company behind the Ambassador Bridge assembled land hoping to build a second crossing. The city says what followed was years of boarded windows, blight, lost housing, and uncertainty for the neighborhood. City Hall has been negotiating over the property since 2017. spending about $3 million taxpayer dollars on legal and professional fees along the way. But council says it can't keep waiting.
Now is the time for us to act, to start restoring the neighborhoods that they have watched decay in front of their own eyes, with the property owners either taking no action or certain actions that, have helped to lead to the decay.
CTV News reached out to the company behind the Ambassador Bridge for comment, but did not hear back by airtime. The city says it wants to rehabilitate what can be saved, clear what can't, and eventually put homes and people back on blocks that have spent years in limbo.
There's a lot of opportunity coming, and this is a piece of that puzzle to really make this neighborhood and make the West End, what it absolutely can be, which I think is like one of the best neighborhoods in the city.
The process is only beginning, and City Hall says a negotiated deal is still possible.
Yeah, a little bit more on that. This is only step one. The city has served notice that it intends to expropriate the land, but the property owner can challenge that, including before the Ontario Land Tribunal. So the question now is whether they fight it and how long it takes before the city can actually take control of these properties.
It would be so nice to see it revitalized, though.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, and it will take a long time if that does
Probably.
happen, but looking forward to it. Okay, Travis Fortnum, thank you for this. Now, Tecumseh is putting millions of dollars in infrastructure savings towards 2 new stormwater management ponds. Tecumseh is putting $5.2 million in infrastructure savings towards 2 ponds. The money comes from a provincially funded project that came in under budget. The new ponds will help reduce flooding in the Manning Road area and facilitate the construction of 6,000 new homes.
We've been very fortunate to have a great partner in the province who see the needs and a requirement and understand that, with the type of growth that huge billion-dollar investments bring, it brings people in the area. So all of those are pieces of the puzzle, as I stated earlier, that need to be completed.
At the same time, the city of Windsor is revising its plan to save the inland ponds on Peche Island, scaling back a proposal addressing water flow issues there. The original proposal called for dredging the canals, but the city says it learned that plan was unlikely to get approval from the Department of Fisheries and Oceans. The revised plan instead calls for a small jetty to divert sediment, along with removing sediment around the Legacy Bridge to restore water flow and allow small watercraft to pass through. The city has nearly $1 million set aside for the project. Officials hope to get approval with starting the in-water work beginning this fall before winter weather arrives. Commissioner of Community Services Michael Chandler tells AM 800 the revised plan is focused on getting a barrier in place.
The focus would be on, getting that rock revetment in, that little jetty that will deflect materials and prevent them from gathering under the bridge again. And then, of course, getting that material out from underneath the bridge to restore the water flow into the island.
A historic Sandwich Town building is looking for a new tenant. The former Canada Post office at Sandwich and Mill Streets is now listed for a lease at $3,900 per month. The building has also been home to a cafe and most recently the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority. The WDBA says its lease expires November 30th, and with the Gordie Howe Bridge now open, it will leave the location. Ward 2 Councillor Fraser Fathers calls the building an iconic part of Sandwich Town. He says the BIA would like to see a new coffee shop, restaurant, cafe, or other business become an anchor tenant. The building has been fully renovated and includes commercial space and a full basement. Cyclists hitting the dirt trails in Amherstburg will notice an added feature to the growing trail system. A new trail kiosk was officially unveiled last night, featuring a map of the trail system, along with a bike repair station and a bench for seating. The kiosk was designed and built by 4 millwright students and 8 architectural technology students from St. Clair College, in partnership with the Windsor Essex Bike Community, or WSIB. WSIB has already built 3 phases of mountain biking trails at the Libro Center in Amherstburg. Work is now underway on phase 4, the new Skills Park.
It really cements the Libro Trails as a legitimate network, and we couldn't be more happy with the partnership with St. Clair.
Do you have a story idea? We want to hear from you. Text us at 10400. You can also send photos and video. Trump is warning of economic warfare as the conflict with Iran shows no sign of ending. That's still ahead on Windsor's News Leader. Could a mystery man in Amsterdam be a Canadian who vanished without a trace 33 years ago? The answer just ahead. And nominations close tomorrow. Who's not running and which seats could be decided without a vote? We break down the races to watch tomorrow at 6.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
U.S. President Donald Trump appears set to try a new approach as there are no signs the conflict with Iran will be ending anytime soon. The American president is warning of economic warfare. Trump posted this on Truth Social, saying in part, "No one has given the Islamic Republic of Iran a greater opportunity to make a deal than me. Tragically for them, they have failed to take it. Therefore, today I am announcing the most crushing economic operation ever taken against any country. This will be economic warfare in isolation on an unprecedented scale." The president warned of economic consequences for any nation that helps Iran. He did not name any countries or specific steps the U.S. would take. Now, oil prices jumped more than 2% after Trump's threat. The blockade of the Strait of Hormuz is also putting pressure on global fuel supplies. Canada's transport regulator says WestJet is imposing an undue barrier on travelers living with disabilities by effectively barring some power wheelchairs from its planes. The Canadian Transportation Agency says WestJet must drop its 300-pound weight limit for mobility aids in the next year. It says WestJet should use spreader plates to better distribute the wheelchair's weight in the cargo hold and arrange alternative travel with other airlines until then. The case was brought by Stephen Fletcher, a former federal minister of state for transport, after he was prevented from flying with his custom wheelchair. A class action lawsuit has been filed in Quebec's Superior Court over bogus cans of maple syrup which were allegedly diluted with cane sugar. The plaintiff originally filed an application for a class action suit in April, naming the syrup producer, Bleu, Steve Bordeaux. Now, several major grocery chains have been named in this lawsuit, including Loblaw, Metro, and Sobeys. The filing claims they betrayed customers' trust. The suit is seeking refunds and $100 in punitive damages per class member. A possible break in a cold case involving John Kenny, a Canadian man who went missing from Vancouver 33 years ago. In 2023, an unidentified man suffered a stroke and collapsed in Amsterdam. Officials are wondering, could the man the Dutch call Lucky be Kenny? CTV's Andrew Johnson on the investigation, working to uncover the truth.
This is the man known as Lucky. He spends his days in a nursing home ever since he suffered a stroke on the streets of Amsterdam 3 years ago. He woke up in the hospital diagnosed with aphasia, a language disorder that left him unable to speak. His identity, say Dutch investigators, a mystery.
Geen pasjes, geen niks. De politie staat voor een raadsel. Hoe achterhaal je de identiteit van iemand die niet kan vertellen wie hij is?
Dutch police went looking for information, people who knew Lucky, and began to piece together his past.
Schat helemaal rijk zijn, maar tegelijkertijd zwierf door de straat in Amsterdam.
He was known in the local Buddhist community and regularly frequented a nearby market and restaurants. Lucky was also known by several other names, including Chris the Canadian. Still stumped, Dutch investigators posted the story to social media, and someone online made this connection. Lucky looks a lot like Vancouver missing man John Russell Kenny. He lost contact with his family 33 years ago and would now be 67.
They definitely look similar, but again, 30 years can do a lot to a person.
The Vancouver Police Missing Person Unit is now collaborating with their counterparts in the Netherlands and Interpol.
This is definitely a unique experience, especially it's on the international platform, so we are always excited to help. And if this does in fact be him, would be exciting news.
Vancouver police have provided fingerprints that will now be compared with Lucky's to see if they're a match. On VPD's cold case website, Kenny is described as someone who suffered from mental health issues and was transient in nature. Dutch police have no idea how he may have managed to live under the radar in Amsterdam for decades. Hopefully they may have some answers soon. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
SpaceX has released a video of the recovery of a part of its latest Starship prototype. It wound up floating in the Indian Ocean after the company's recent test flight. SpaceX has been working on how to return the upper spacecraft to a controlled landing after flight. It is something that is crucial to the company's plans to eventually recover and reuse the vehicle. If so, it would drastically reduce launch costs. Canada's main stock index edged lower, while American markets also lost ground as geopolitical concerns sent oil prices higher. In Toronto, the TSX lost 36 points. In New York, the Dow dropped 704, the Nasdaq fell 264. The Canadian dollar was up 1/5 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained $26 an ounce and oil added $2.44 a barrel. Teaching the immune system to recognize cancer. Coming up, a potential step forward in the fight against melanoma.
Thank you, Ron Harway, for this beautiful image. Sunset on Sunday. This weekend, could we see some more sunny, beautiful weather? Well, it doesn't look great. And it could be cooler, below seasonal by several degrees, imagine that. I'll break down the story for you next on CTV News Windsor.
From moment to moment, things change. CTVNewsWindsor.ca is Windsor's #1 source for online news. Watch every story from wherever you are, the moment it happens. CTVNewsWindsor.ca.
Cooler this morning, but overall a pleasant day. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather.
You know, it was a bit cloudy, yes, at 8:15, 9 o'clock, and then things opened up nicely. A mixture of sun and cloud towards the afternoon. Seeing a high near 28 today. Our average is getting closer to 26 degrees. A low close to about 16 is average between Windsor and Chatham-Kent. Windsor, Essex, Chatham-Kent combined have been rather seasonal, so too the surrounds of late. Air quality is good, so nothing to see here, and we anticipate a quiet evening overall. Temperatures are in the mid-20s between Windsor, Essex, Chatham-Kent. 25 to 26 degrees, that's 77 to 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidex just feels a couple of degrees warmer, about 28 in the entire region of extreme southwestern Ontario, so humidity isn't a major factor. And across Canada, temperatures are seasonal, really. A little bit warmer than average, slightly, on both the Atlantic coast and parts of the BC North Central coast. Everywhere in between is about average in terms of temperatures. So we are in the dry slot right now. I'm not anticipating any major activity, in fact, for the next 24 to 36 hours. I think tomorrow will be warm, just like today, about 27 degrees, and mostly sunny. Then we'll see the clouds start to move in. Not a very well-defined cold front is coming in from the west, but it could bring some showers for Saturday, make it cloudy for both Saturday and Sunday. For now, mostly clear through to about 8 o'clock, and then clear beyond that towards 10 and midnight. Temperatures between 8 p.m. and 12 midnight tomorrow morning will drop from 22 down to about 18, and the overnight temperature about 16 to 17, which would be average. Take a look at our Carousel 7-day forecast. Hooray! Sunshine tomorrow. High of 27, feels like 31 at peak times around 4:30. The afternoon is a bit windy. Saturday and Sunday, both days could see some showers and cooler temperatures. 23 followed by 21 respectively. And then Monday, Tuesday up to 24, then 26 could see morning showers. And then clearing for Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 27, 24. Again, some fluctuation, but still seasonal for this time of the year.
Biotech giant Moderna releasing positive trial results for a new experimental cancer vaccine targeting the deadliest form of skin cancer, melanoma. Moderna and Merck are developing the treatment together. It relies on mRNA technology, the same technology that was used in COVID vaccines. The cancer shots are designed based on each patient's tumor, and they're designed to teach the immune system to recognize the unique genetic fingerprint of their cancer. The company says when paired with an existing immunotherapy, the new vaccine treatment helped reduce the risk of cancer returning or spreading further. They said they plan to present the full study results at an upcoming international medical meeting with no timeline on applying for regulator approval in the States. Meanwhile, researchers in the U.S. are warning of a possible link between sugary drinks and gastric cancer. Researchers found those who drank one sugary drink per day had a nearly 2.5 times higher risk of cancer than those who had less than one sugary drink per month. Authors of the study also found that higher fructose intake was also linked with higher gastric cancer risks. Meantime, processed foods can make mealtime quick and convenient, but they can also come with extra sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. In today's Health a Minute, Mandy Gaither talks with a dietitian about simple whole food swaps that can help make your favorite foods a little healthier.
It's no secret those pre-packaged, ultra-processed foods taste good, but eating too many of them is not good for your body.
Those foods are very addicting. You know, all that sugar and unhealthy fat and carbs light up your brain.
Julia Zumpano with Cleveland Clinic says that's why people love them, but eating a variety of foods is critical. She says to start by slowly swapping out one processed food for one whole food so it doesn't feel as daunting. In the morning, try substituting something else for cereal.
Maybe you do an overnight oat that you try to make the night before. Or you do a whole grain toast with avocado instead of a breakfast cereal, or some Greek yogurt with berries and topped with some nuts.
For lunch, try swapping out pre-packaged deli meat. Zumpano says to buy a whole chicken instead, roast it and cut it up so it's ready for the week. You can also try canned meat like tuna. To avoid loaves of bread loaded with not so healthy ingredients, she says to try making your own at home or simply read ingredients at the store and go for less processed breads with better ingredients. Finally, Zumpano suggests making dessert at home. Healthier swaps could include ingredients like whole grain flour, a healthier oil, applesauce instead of butter, or adding something like ground flaxseed, which is packed with nutrients.
There's so many swaps that you can make in baked goods, so many things you could sneak in.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Coming up on What's Up YKG, we're going to take a step back in time to the Roaring 20s.
Just to make it clear, the 1920s, not the 2020s.
Yes, the Prohibition era 20s.
That's right, coming up.
Turning now to our weekly segment, What's Up YQG, with Matt Rutherford from our sister station 89X and our own Melanie Kentner. Now, you have details about a riverfront speakeasy.
Yeah, we're going to take a step back in time for this one. Matt, thanks for stepping in for Johnny this week.
Absolutely.
Now, have you ever been to a speakeasy before?
I mean, would like an all-inclusive in Jamaica where they call it a speakeasy count? Would that be? Yeah, okay, then yeah, absolutely. But I guarantee you not as much fun as this one will be. Michael is here to tell us all about the riverfront speakeasy.
Yeah, Matt, a little different than, Jamaica. But right here on our waterfront, which was integral during Prohibition, this is where it's all going to happen here at the Legacy Beacon. And it's going to be an event like none other. It's going to put the exclamation mark at the end of Prohibition Week for us.
So what can you tell us about the entertainment that's going to be happening?
So there'll be some great entertainment. There's a couple live jazz bands. We've got Hugh Leal and we've got Mississippi Mike and the Southside Strutters. I made sure I wrote that down to get that one right. Tara Watts will also be here with her amazing vocals on the patio. And DJ Bootleg Benny will be here spinning some tunes.
Woo, that is so many. Now, what about the activities as well?
So in addition to that, we're going to have a magician, a fortune teller, and then, of course, right before the end of the event, coming on 10 o'clock, we're going to have a fire performance by a gentleman we like to call Bootleg Blaze, and so that should be very exciting to kind of end the evening.
With all that going on, I mean, that's got to cost a pretty penny. What does it cost to do this weekend?
So it might be a pretty penny to put on these types of events, but again, thanks to our sponsor, we're able to do that and make the admission free for everyone. So we'll have free admission. We also have free parking. The Karen lot, just near Riverside Drive, lot 23. Parking is free. Please bring your blankets, bring your seats, and you'll have a great time.
Amazing, Michael. Thank you so much. Sounds like a roaring good time. I hope you get a fantastic turnout. So, Matt, we do have a couple other events to talk about, including another 1920s themed event.
Absolutely. I mean, The Great Gatsby, an iconic book, an iconic movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. WIF is going to be screening that.
Yeah, that should be awesome. And legendary rockers coming to the casino.
John Fogerty, unbelievable performer. I've had the chance to talk to him. Great guy. Loves telling stories about the songs he wrote with CCR. He is actually at Caesars tonight.
Whew, good. And something for nature lovers.
Erie Street, the Butterfly Festival returns. That is happening on Sunday.
Another amazing summer weekend. Thanks, guys. And that's What's Up, Waikiki.
Okay, a spoiler alert now. The sixth leg of The Amazing Race Canada aired on Tuesday night and is now available on Crave.
That one must be mine. Well, that one must be yours.
God, that was great. You got it.
Okay. Stay away from my mom.
Mother-son duo Amin and Soraya representing Windsor. On the first detour, they had to memorize 10 dim sum orders given in Cantonese and then serve the correct dishes to receive the next clue. They then headed to the Canadian Community Table Tennis Association in Markham to face off with another team at ping pong. Soraya then had to memorize and perform lines from a rom-com movie. They finished second on the map. Also in entertainment, Prince Harry and his wife Meghan are moving back to the United Kingdom. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are reportedly relocating to a residence outside of London later this month. They moved to the U.S. in 2020 after stepping back from royal duties. King Charles is said to have been informed of the impending move this past weekend. The monarch has stated that there will be no change to their status as non-working members of the royal family. Okay, I know, Kate, you love the Royals. Thank you for joining us now. We are almost coming up to happening now. What do you have for us tonight?
Yeah, a familiar name actually has announced that they are running for council again. More on that coming up.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. It's the 59th annual Art by the River, August 29th and 30th at Fort Malden. More than 175 exhibitors, live entertainment all weekend, and a kids' fun zone for some free kids' activities. See you next time on Our Community.
Okay, Kate, we've been questioning this for a while, but we finally heard whether or not current Mayor Drew Dilkens plans to run again.
Yes, after months of dodging the question, Drew Dilkens is finally ready to make it official. The three-term Windsor mayor says he will file his papers tomorrow, the deadline to enter this fall's municipal election. Dilkens says he wanted to get through some important city business first, including today's announcement that Windsor is moving to expropriate 45 vacant and boarded up properties in Old Sandwich Town. He's been mayor since 2014 and has repeatedly said he'd get to the campaign when the time was right.
You have heard me say, you've heard me say many times, as you ask me, you guys ask me every time, and I know why you're asking me, right? Every time I say I'm too busy being mayor and doing the important work of governing, I'll get to the election at the right time. There'll be plenty of time for the election. Tomorrow, I understand, is the last day. I will be filing tomorrow that I'm seeking re-election. There'll be more details to come.
We've got those details and more online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And OPP are continuing to educate the public at a three-way stop intersection in Leamington. Tell us about that.
Yes, so this intersection is at Danforth Avenue and Carolina Woods Crescent. Police say there has been a concerning number of drivers not following traffic laws in the area. You are reminded to always stay alert and focused behind the wheel. And in our social spotlight tonight, have you ever seen a puppy cooler than this one?
Whoa, whoa, you got it? I got it. How did he get that much?
This 5-month-old dog named Sweet was surfing with her owner in Malibu Sunday when their board collided with another surfer's. Now, instead of falling off like most would think, Sweet simply hopped onto the other board. Her owner says she started surfing at just 8 weeks old, which pretty incredible. I know some dogs skateboard, but I don't think I've ever seen a surfing dog before.
You know what? I haven't seen this at all before either. It's so hard surfing.
I bet.
It's a challenge. Like, I can get up for like 10 seconds and then I go down, let alone having a dog do it. But he looks like he's having fun. What a cutie.
So cute. Okay.
Anything else? If any of our viewers have something that they want to share with us, how can they do it?
Yes, you can send us an email at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Okay, and that's what's happening now. Thank you, Kate. A Canadian strongwoman just made history, hauling more than 700 pounds of Scottish stone. Okay, cloudy, but as you mentioned, sunshine tomorrow.
And that was earlier, say around 8 to 9, and then things cleared out. And speaking of clearing, I think that holds for tomorrow. So we'll see some sunshine for the morning Friday and a warm 27, which would be average for this time of the year. UV's high, so just protect yourself, wear your sunglasses and use that sunblock. Saturday and Sunday cloudy both days. Pretty good chance we'll see some showers, in particular Saturday morning through the midday. Sunday, these temperatures 23 then 21, so cooler, below seasonal by several degrees. Monday, Tuesday through Wednesday, Thursday, the average temperature is about 25.5. I think we're going to see a mixed bag. Fair weather next week, a little bit cooler at times, especially in the early mornings.
Okay, Gary, as you know, we have a lot of strong women in this newsroom, both mentally and physically, but not as strong as this Ontario woman who has made Canadian history with an incredible display of strength. And as CTV's Colton Ween shows us, she had to lift a piece of Scottish history to do it.
Big, strong, keep going.
Lori McDougall-Sukrach entered the record books on August 1st, becoming the first woman from Canada to lift the historic Dinnie Stones in Scotland.
I was the 22nd woman all-time to lift the historic Dinnie Stones in Scotland. They weigh 733 pounds combined.
One weighs 414.5 pounds, the other 318.5 pounds, and were once counterweights for work on a bridge in Scotland.
It's really heavy, so it's about 4.5 times my own body weight, so it's like It's pretty heavy.
The 43-year-old 5'4" strong woman has been training twice a week for a year for this specific feat. At her Campbellville home, using specific equipment to mimic the lift, gaining confidence along the way.
I saw that there weren't any women from Canada who had done it so far, and all year I've been like, okay, if nobody beats me to it, I'm going to be the first.
And she wouldn't have been able to do this without help from her coach.
It's just 2 giant rocks that you have to pick up, right? So it's very skill specific. And if you're not training that specific skill, it's going to be hard to just walk up to them and do them regardless of how strong you are.
A software developer by trade, she's been competing in strongman competitions since 2016, pulling trucks, carrying cars, lifting Atlas stones, and tossing cabers.
Lori loves strongman, and the Dinnies are just kind of like the next step.
Well, McDougall-Sucrage has already lifted her goal. She's planning to head back to the UK and continue lifting historic stones.
I will try to lift other things. I haven't decided yet what my next kind of like big goal is going to be.
Even if there's something out there that she doesn't really know about yet, if she hears about it, she's immediately going to be like, I'm going to do that next.
But no matter what, she'll always be the first Canadian woman that's lifted the Dinnie stones. Colton Ween, CTV News, Campbellville.
Okay, Gary. Feel it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm right behind her.
She's ripped.
I wonder what she's going to lift next.
She's crazy strong. And she has this very sweet disposition, obviously bright, software developer. I would never have guessed but you see, you can't judge a book by its cover. She is crazy
You
strong.
want her on your good side.
Yes. Absolutely.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
What great discipline, too. For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Carlisle Facette and Gary will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11 o'clock.
I got to start working out.